My lovebird at life.
So you can start with your
No,
welcome.
you start with your welcome. Then I will. Start now.
Say na.
No,
You're the star.
You do.
I'm the pyar.
You should be the star.
I'm the pyar of the
Start.
star.
Start. One video into next video. Chalo.
Hi guys, my name is Ruskin. This is Akanksha, and we are.
Lovebird.live.
The dot is only because we couldn't get the other one.
Lovebird live.
Yeah.
We wanted
It's-
Lovebird's live,
Life
but
is-
it was taken.
Yes. So yes, what are we discussing today?
What are we discussing today?
Why are people so dumb?
I think they are situation-wise dumb.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think anybody is dumb. They just don't know where to use it.
That's
why
dumb,
they
na?
feel they feel they are dumb. They are not. They just don't know how to use their thinking or their ideas. So they feel like they're dumb because they executed in the wrong place.
So is there a problem in execution of all these people?
Somewhere. A lot of people have dreams, but they don't know how to channelize it to reality. So yeah, there is a gap.
Yes, there is.
There is. But nobody is dumb. You're just lost. You're confused. You just need some help.
Like me right now.
Like us.
Like us.
You just need some
Not
guidance.
really.
That's it.
Okay, so why do you think people are not taking action as well? Even if you know what you want to do, I don't think people are taking action.
I think the world is too easy and it's become so advanced that everything is actually available at your doorstep. So
That's
you don't
true.
want to take the extra
I think
effort to go out and do
more
something.
than people being ignorant, people have started to
It's just convenience. It's convenience. It's easy. You have everything. There's everything available. So you don't want to make the extra effort to execute something different, which requires an effort because you're used to it.
So coming back to laziness, are you lazy?
I am. I think
Dekho.
everybody in life is
Checkmate.
lazy. No, I think everybody is lazy when they want to be. But when you have something to do, you should know that you cannot be lazy at that time and you have to do it.
So yes, so because we have an age difference as well.
We have an 8-year age gap.
I am 31, you're
I'm
23.
23. Yeah.
And obviously there's an age gap. So tell me about you guys. What are your friends currently doing? They might be just out of college. Which college did you go to?
My friends are currently chilling in all different countries.
Okay.
So I mean, everybody is trying their best.
What is defined? What is chilling?
Chilling, having fun. They're also 23.
What
They're
fun.
my age.
What
so
fun.
I don't think I can expect anything too much of them. They're just 23 years old.
Up.
Exploring life, chilling. They have a job. They finish their graduation. So that's life's
People
good.
today are so chill. I think
Life's good.
when I was young, we don't really know what to do, where to do, how to do it. We didn't really have the opportunity. Now people have the opportunity, have everything, have essentially access to kind of all the knowledge that is available, and yet they're not actually, except bringing out or issues like LGBTQ and safety and security and equality and all those things. They're not actually doing something, whereas the earlier people had so many of those same issues, but they still did something. I think there's a little bit of laziness in the whole society. We don't really know why, but yeah, matlab.
The laziness is because there is everything is so convenient, everything is so readily available. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to step down to buy groceries. It's that simple. I remember earlier when we didn't have all these things, we only had Amazon, and that too they hadn't started groceries by then. But we actually used to go grocery shopping with our mothers and go to supermarkets and then shop stuff. You like something, you just pick it up even though it's not on the list.
So you don't know, when I was young, I used to buy groceries for my family. A lot of times my dad wasn't doing, or he was available, or he was not available, or something like that. And so back when I was young, I used to have this imaginary shop. I used to have a side bicycle, and my mom used to give me imaginary money, which then I spent on imaginary vendors, and then got some Z's and different kind of stuff. Later on, I actually did it in reality also. So I'm very good at subsidy selection, which arm is the best. For sure, I can understand that only by smelling them or looking at them. also. So, I think these days people don't really know that. People don't really care. Actually, to be honest, it was kind of wasteful also. ऐसा कुछ मैंने I didn't really get anything out of that selection except the experience and the nostalgia now that I have of not doing it at all.
Actually, grocery shopping was never about the groceries. It was always an experience. You go into a supermarket, there's so much stuff.
Although
you pick up anything you like.
Although I'm from a different background, I'm from Ajmer, so back when I was grocery shopping, there were no so-called supermarkets. There was a D-Mart that came on way later, but I used to do grocery shopping from a thela and one guy shop which was for groceries and stuff like that, for vegetables and fruits from a thela. That's basically where I got them from. In Ajmer, there's a place called Nagina Bagh. That's where I used to get it from. But yeah, so now it's become so.
It's so convenient. Now your mothers don't even have to come to you like, oh, please get me this, please get me 1 kg.
Now mothers tell you to ask how to order
and then return it if it's not right. It's so convenient. I think every mother does that. It's very easy for them because they don't have to run after their kids to go get something for them. They can order it themselves. They can have it themselves. I think there is a generation gap. We adapt to it much easily or much faster than they do. So we have to give them that space and time to learn. But I think eventually everybody is going to learn how to do it. Sitting at home, you're just lazing around, you're in your sofa, you pick up your phone, order something, 10 minutes it's at your door. You only have to open the door.
That also people are still lazy and people are still, I would say, in some way or the other procrastinating, thinking of, although I would be defined as the same community because I also procrastinate. It's not like it's only other people that are doing it, obviously, because at some stage you get a little bamboozled by the level of competition there is. Yes, that has changed a lot. Earlier, when we used to get an 80 or an 85 or a 90 in CBSE, that was actually a good score. Now, unless you get like a 99 or 97%, no one gives a shit. No one cares. You will not go to SRCC or some good college, St. Xavier's, Loyola, all of those colleges, and you'll just land up in some normal ass college. And so, yes, the competition has grown, but the laziness has grown with it, and so that's why there is a kind of a gap that is created in terms of people who are skilled but are not wanting to do anything about those skills. And that's the problem.
But apart from that, also, I think education now in today's time has become more about getting a 99% than actually learning. Because the only pressure on your head all the time is if you don't get 99%, you won't get into the college you want.
We were just looking at that video a while back, right? What part or what concept of these mathematics have we actually applied?
When have you used sine theta, cos theta? I don't even remember the formula now. I haven't used it. I haven't used integration in my life until now. It's been 5 years I learned it. I haven't used it. There's no derivatives I use. Although derivatives for people who are into stock market, they still use. But in general, I don't think people use derivatives on a daily basis.
But so I think that's where the problem is. हम लोगों ने भी बहुत सारी चीजें पढ़ी. We had studied a lot of all these different concepts. I chose not to study in mathematics after 11th, but then I still remember there's so many aspects to it which are still not applied. And when we were very nervous when we were writing CPT, and we were thinking that there is a maths in it, or a maths and stats component, and we were like, we have left maths, and so it would be very tough. But the maths that was in it was very like probability and basic statistics and mean, median, mode and those things. And so we kind of realized then that even CA, you don't really need maths and all different compositions and all different areas as well. So I think wahan pe the gap is there where they're studying something and they're cramming these things, but they don't really have an additional skill. Plus, they don't want to get employed, so to get those active practical skills.
I don't think I'll entirely blame the students for doing
education
this. The system is only such that they teach you book based. They don't teach you application or practical life based. Because if they shift your mathematics subjects from teaching you trigonometry or all these triangle, prove that this is equal to this. If they start teaching you how to do banking or mathematics that's used in banking, or mathematics that is more arithmetic based rather than making it geometry based, you don't use geometry in your real life. You don't measure two triangles, are they equal? Nobody cares.
Pythagoras theorem.
Nobody cares. You have to know how to use your knowledge in real life, and that's only possible when the learning is more practical and more application based.
But I don't think we're gonna reach there anytime soon. I don't really know. Plus now, like I was also discussing with you, now that AI has come into the forefront, what are the fields that are available to a person who is right now, say, a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old or a 18-year-old?
Coding.
Except coding, because everything, like even now, for example, I'm qualified enough to have my opinion on finance, on a lot of things.
Correct.
But I myself foresee a big gap where this is going to be a problem very soon, where people will not know what to do because everything they could do is now being very actively done or very well done by AI, and that's now in 2024. So what happens in 29 or 30 by the time these people graduate?
You can't even imagine. I think even CAs or any professional for that matter has no value. Because because the advice that you are giving, AI is going to give the exact same advice. The only difference is that the person is talking human to human or the person is talking human to computer.
And that's where I think there's a big gap. I think we would want to cover this more on another video where what are some of the things that we should be focused on from now perspective, considering that AI, I saw OpenAI working with Figure, and I showed you that video as well, where they have like a robo, and that robo is able to classify objects in front of it, organize them, pick the one which is edible by analyzing it, and then give it to you while talking about the subject matter of why an apple is there and also walking. And so if that is, and that all of those actions are actually autonomous. So earlier robotics was always with a remote control where someone is operating that person, that robot. But now it's not even a remote control, it's 100% autonomous. If they have done this in 2024, then it's just a matter of percolation of that technology from where it is right now in terms of geography to a place in India where it's very hard to reach right now.
But I don't even think it's that hard to reach, honestly.
Yeah, the cars came.
It's not that hard.
Electric cars are already here.
In no time, everything is going to be replaced by AI. I don't think humans particularly have that much value 10 years down the line. Because everything that you are able to do, AI
see, in emotions they do have value. In emotions they do have value, and so because, like I said, psychology being one field where you're in it, and you understand that a lot of times psychology would mean handling emotions, and when you're handling emotions, you don't really need advice. I need an advice from someone who has the experience to handle those things or has already done it. Whereas AI is based on its own algorithms and theoretical knowledge. So obviously, I would not ask for advice from a robot on human matters or on emotional matters, and that's where I think there is a flaw. That as long as these things are there, humans would be used specifically in the psychology field because you can't really replicate it even 30 years down the line.
I think even in psychology, people particularly don't come to you for advice. What they're looking for is just someone to sit in front of them and hear them out. When it is with respect to emotions specifically, if it's career counseling, it's a different thing, then they seek advice. But if it's talking about emotions, or you're going through a difficult time, you're going through a breakup or a difficult marriage, that's when
and you've seen how ChatGPT works, how all of these AI engines work. They actually are designed to give you a response.
Absolutely.
If you write something on ChatGPT and ask it not to give a response, it will, because the LLM is designed in a way where they will need to respond to it. And so a lot of times, like you said, that the response doesn't actually matter at all. No one cares. You just want to talk about your emotional turmoil, and you want to share that with someone who you trust and who embodies or is some kind of a person who is empathetic as well.
Absolutely.
And so obviously that is where you will have a gap, which I would say like you're feeling, and like a lot of people who are in psychology or psychiatry are feeling as well, because some of these things cannot be controlled even with AI.
Absolutely. I think with respect to emotions, AI is going to take a lot of time to replicate it, even if it does.
So, what's your message for education right now to the young people? And because obviously you're in it, and we're not that far ahead, to be very honest. But what's your message looking at working in a consulting firm, working in psychology, and looking at obviously the people around you as well in terms of what they're
Right.
doing, looking at those patterns. What's your advice for them?
So I'll start with a personal experience when I was preparing for my 10th boards. Now it's a lot of pressure when you already have a sibling who's done fairly well. So there's a lot of pressure on you to either match them or exceed them or do better than them or just like
My
extremely
brother was a
over the
topper.
roof. So my brother is elder to me, he's 2 years elder to me, and he is obviously much smarter than me. So when he gave his 10th, we got the results, he got a 92%. And honestly, we were not expecting that result. We thought he's given it, we'll see what happens. Now because that 92 was on the paper, you have to exceed it. You have to always do better. So when I was preparing for my exams in 10th, my focus was not on how much I'm learning. My focus was on how much do I have to learn to get these marks. My target was 93 because 92 was already a benchmark. I had to cross. So my target was only on how to get 93%. So I was studying from the perspective of getting those marks, not from the perspective of gaining knowledge or how much I'll use in real life. It didn't matter to me at that time. It was all about getting this particular percentage so that you can get into some college. The same thing happened when you were in 12th. Although in 12th it becomes easier because there are entrance exams, there are other factors. But I think the world is such, and even the parents, they only care about what is on paper. If it's 93%, it's 93%. They don't care how much their child has learned. It doesn't matter how much he'll apply in real life, how much he's able to comprehend. It only matters that he got the result, he got the college, he's a smart child.
So again, what's your advice?
My advice is focus not on getting a particular mark, focus on attaining knowledge. Read as much as you can. Although I am not that much of a reader, but I will start now. But my advice to you is read as much as you can and as much to get practical knowledge. Don't focus on school books that much. Read to get the knowledge. My advice is only that. Don't focus on marks. If you are smart, if you have knowledge, you will automatically get the marks. So your focus should not be on getting a number. Your focus should be on getting the knowledge to be able to use it in practical life, something that you have dreamt of or a particular field that you want to get into. Read more on that. Whatever subject you are studying, it's inevitable you have to do it because it's a part of course. But apart from that, if there is something that you are very passionate about, there's no harm in reading about it. In the beginning you won't understand, but later you will start understanding eventually. So,
Okay. Cool.
yeah, that's my advice.
Ask me also. Because I'm more experienced than you.
Yeah, so no, so my question to you is that when you were in school, that was like 30 years back.
Not 30 years. Fuck you. Fucking shit. I'm 31 people.
He's 31.
30 years back as 1 year old.
20, I'll say 20 years back when you were in school and when you were studying. What did you have any agenda in mind when you were studying? Was it to get marks? Was it to get knowledge? Was it to impress your teachers or your parents? What was your goal in mind when you were studying 20 years back?
To be honest, I didn't really have a goal. Because you're a 6-year-old, 20 years back, you're a 10-year-old or a 7, 8,
Yeah.
9-year-old. So obviously, in essence, you're just chilling.
Correct.
And so if you're chilling, you don't really have an agenda because you don't really have a grasp of this world and what the world is all about. And so you're looking at it from your own point of view, which is a very, I would say, microscopic point of view in terms of what issues you're having. Now, obviously, from that point, uh, at that point also, my brother was extremely smarter than me, and he has been all throughout. And so, and he was always the topper, top 5, top 3, top 7. Fuck it, that never got below 7th rank also. It was such a problem. And I was like 13th, 19th, 27, 22. My ranks are like, I've got like good ranks. All above 10 is like, I think I got it only once when I got like 3rd rank or something. No, 7th rank back in 2nd grade. And I think after that, only in 11th class, I maybe got it. Between these classes, I was so exactly the point where you're asking. I was trading Pokemon Jenga cards and making puzzles, selling puzzles, chilling, bunking classes. I was not actually that studious. So at that time, you're not thinking about anything. You don't want to impress. Also, at some stage, you get irritated because uh, every teacher basically compares you with your elder brother and says, "Oh, he is this idle student, and you are a fucking notorious child." That's basically what everyone said. And so from that point of view, yes, obviously I was a little intimidated by the success around me, specifically of my brother, and obviously, like you said, everyone compares. So even in our family, everyone used to compare. I was this guy who maybe was not able to do well in life or not going to do well in life and things like that. And so at that time, to be honest, I was not impressing anyone. I was just doing my own thing and I was having fun with it. But because I was not doing the right things, um, a lot of my frustration came out as anger. And so I got into a lot of fights back then, and not the best kind of childhood in comparison, because of the anger that was being suppressed, because I was not able to show it where I was actually angry, and I was showing it on other people where I could be angry. And so I think that is usually what happens to every child. Most probably it changes, but from that point of view, I couldn't impress my parents at all anyway. So I kind of lost hope on that. And except my brother, I don't think I wanted to chill with anyone also. So I was just having fun with him, chilling around, playing imaginary games, everything basically.
What was the time that you actually understood that, okay, now I have figured what I want to do in life, this is what I want to do, this is the way to get there, and this is what I will do to get there? What was that time, and how old were you then? What led you to that?
Now that is a little bit of a personal story. Obviously, you know it.
I know it.
I'll keep that for some later time.
Yeah.
But that was very early on, to be honest, and that was nowhere related to success or all of these things, because I did understand that these things at that time. I did not have understanding of success and how success is perceived by other people and all of those things. So for me, it was just I wanted to just chill and be recognized in my class, and have some kind of respect, because people used to mock me back then a lot. And so actually I kind of deserved it also. It's not their fault, they were also children, I was also a child, so I kind of understand that. But uh, I understood very early on in life what is the end goal, but the end goal has a process to reach it. And so I'm currently in that process and never forgotten that end goal as well. And so I'm in that process of trying to achieve this. But it was very early on when I understood what I need to do. It took a lot of time for me to align to that as well, and to now understand, okay, what am I good at, from that particular understanding getting to, okay, can I execute this economically, can I scale this, can I build it into a business, and then can I get the actual resource I need to execute what I plan to execute. So although it's a little more complicated and it sounds complicated also, as an idea it wasn't that complicated. So that was the whole, that's when, but I knew very early on that that was what I was wanting to do.
For the people who are watching us, and especially people who are my age, who are always confused and you don't know what to do, you will find your way. It'll take you some time because the world is so advanced. There are so many different kind of businesses. It might take you some time, but that does not mean you are not capable of anything. You will just take a little longer, but that doesn't mean you won't find your way. You will.
Yeah, but remember the story of the person who was drowning in a tsunami or a flood, and didn't call or didn't understand when God is helping. So obviously, God helps those who help themselves, and so you need to take action. But also remember, we are getting uh, going to be beaten by other people very soon, and those people are going to be cyber. I would say more computers or robotics and those kind of people. So
Right.
I'm saying that as people, that means they're already in a situation where there can be cyborgs already. And so this is just now. And so what happens 10 years from now, I don't even know. So yes, we will have to act on whatever our skill is, understand what part of our skill is humane in nature, and then build on that, because that cannot be replicated. If you can paint, art can make it better. They can randomize colors, they can make images specific to what is being shown to them as well. you've obviously seen the text generation and the image generation softwares that are currently used. And so I think understanding where your skill is from a humane perspective is something that is important, and then applying whatever you know to that, and whatever you don't know, just fucking YouTube it and Google it and get to know it. Otherwise, yeah, we're all going for a downturn very soon.
Yeah, but there are certain things that AI cannot do. So I think people
Yeah.
should also focus on finding their way through that. We'll let you know. We'll make another video on this topic. We don't want to get
Oh,
into the
yes.
details right now.
So yes,
But until then, maybe you could tell us in the comment section if there's something that you have thought of which AI cannot replicate in the
oh
future.
yeah, 100%, because we are already researching this. You should too,
You should
and
too.
we obviously think that this is something which we
Absolutely.
want to talk about as well. Obviously, see, we are together, we are in a relationship. A lot of these aspects, from a relationship point of view, obviously we can share. But
Yeah.
as a first off video, understanding what the current trend is and having some kind of an opinion on that is also important, because I think I shit my pants, to be honest, seeing the bigger video that I talked about, and you guys should also. It's on YouTube as well, and so just imagine if that is the truth. Uh, that's scary. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Um, so it is actually something that is to be really paid heed to. Yes, and also coddled, because we're all coddled up in this generation. We're also, I would say, puffered in our own safe spaces. We don't really realize what is going to happen because we think no one can touch us. But at the end of the day, they can, they are, and they already are going to. So we need to be a little active from that perspective. Obviously, we're a cute couple. A lot of these things are there, but beyond all the cuteness, we are also people who like executing, and that particularly is my skill. And so yeah, if you're listening, um, give it a thought and give yourself a little bit of time to understand. You're young, so that might be an advantage to you as well, because you are faster than me, smarter than me, more resourceful than me, have more resources than me as well. So um, obviously we're all at kind of zero, and it's not about me versus you, it's about us versus robots. Correct. Which is the sad part. So yeah, at the end of the day, anything humane is, we would want to know, we'd love to know, and help us with what you're doing as well. What are you doing and how you're going to align. That'll be great. And when he says it's scary, it's actually scary because I had watched a snippet of Shahid Kapoor's new movie. Now, in that, she's a robo at the end of the day. So, if there's one malfunction in the robo, it is so destructive, you cannot even imagine how much harm that one malfunction can cause. It's not even a malfunction which is in the wiring of the robot, it's actually basic electricity. If a robo is charging themselves and the lights go off, it is so destructive, you cannot even imagine. Not just that, see. Or if you have seen the movie, you may be able to understand what I'm saying for all the people who have seen. I haven't seen this movie though, but I'll be honest, the fact that, because you guys have seen Terminator, I'm 100% sure. For those who have or have not, please watch it. For those who have, if you see Terminator, in Terminator, all the robots are at least a ton in terms of their weight. The fact that the existing robotics are created and the existing robots are created at 57 kilos, which is 5-6 kilos more than you. So that means they have actually, I would say, shortened and scaled everything so less to a so less magnitude that they can actually fit all of that in 57 kilos. So yeah, I think it's an ode to, this particular video is more of an ode to everything in terms of a summary of what our views are. Obviously, a lot of these further videos are going to come where we're going to talk about things that are important to us, important to you, important to the world as well. And yeah, it's more of a conversation. We'll get other people on board as well if needed. And so yeah, write us in our comments, right? What you want to hear, what your comments about this is, what you're working in. We'd love to know, and we'd love to create and curate more, I would say, related videos and conversations for you. Yeah. So this video basically talks about everything in small contents of what we're going to
talk about in our upcoming videos, which are going to be way more detailed on particular topics. So if there's any topic that you would like to hear our views on, you can leave it in the comments and we'll surely make a video on that too. So yeah, see us in the upcoming videos.
See ya.
See you
Bye
then,
bye.
guys. Bye. Thank you so much for watching us.
Bye.